welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a get ready with me makeup look. I can get pretty slack at these. Like, I find doing my makeup while talking quite difficult. Like, sometimes I just don't talk and then I'm like, I'm meant to be talking. So there's gonna be a little bit of voiceover, but basically I am going out for dinner with one of my good friends tonight and I needed to do my makeup, so I thought I'll film it. I wanted to wear my new Bobbi brown lipstick in the shade Guava, which is so pretty, and also I wanted to try out the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Sundipped Glow Kit. So if you want to get ready with me today and see how I achieved this pretty glam makeup look, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with priming, and as usual I'll use my Mercier Hydrating Primer. You guys who watch my channel know this primer is my whole entire life, so I'll start with that. So I'm just going to pop it all over. I really find this primer really hydrates and keeps my makeup on and stops my skin from drying out. I love it. And then again, using my Makeup Forever smoothing primer just through the middle where I have my texture. I've said in a previous video that I can't decide whether I prefer this or the Benefit Professional, and I'm like 99% sure I prefer the Benefit one, but I am not one for wasting money, so I will continue to use this and then I will get another Benefit one. I think it does the job, but I think the Benefit one does a better job. And then for foundation, I'm going to use my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade number 5. I love this foundation. I use it all the time. It's probably my most favourite foundation of all time. So I'm going to use this today. So I really like using this foundation for evening events because like it photographs lovely and it looks amazing and it looks really like nice on the skin. If I was going to something a bit more glam, I'd do something a little bit more full coverage, but for dinner I really love this foundation. It just looks like you've just got really good skin, which is the look that I want to go for today. It's not amazing coverage, this foundation. Like, a lot of people think that it's like full coverage and it's not. It's like medium full at the absolute most, and I definitely find Beauty Blender is my favourite application method for this foundation. I find it just blends it into the skin really easy. It makes the foundation look beautiful and very smooth. And then I'm gonna do my usual colour correcting under my eyes. So I'm just using the Giorgio Armani Master Corrector number 2, and I literally just put it right on the darkest part of my eye, so right on that middle bit. Blend it in with my Zoeva 142 buffing brush, and it just helps to lift the darkness from the inner corners. It just brightens, so then when you put your concealer on you don't need to put as much on, which is the aim of the game. And then for my actual under eye concealer, I'll use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in light pale, and then to highlight the centre of my face I'll use my Maybelline Fit Me in the number 15 Fair. So I'm just putting it all through the high points of the face. And then applying this. I've started only putting this right at the edge. I haven't been kind of putting it in here anymore. I find that when I blend this, it tends to blend up and then I end up getting too much product. So I've only been using this just right on that outer corner and then letting this blend up to conceal. Like I said, for me, the less product I put under my under eyes the better, because they're quite liney and crepey, and the more you put on the more it accentuates that. So I'm just going to blend this in with my Beauty Blender. Now I've discovered this new makeup artist, this new musician, singer recently, and I'm probably like well behind on this person, but I have fallen in love with their music, and it's Frank Ocean. He is so good. He's got the most beautiful voice. I absolutely love his music. I know he had an album out ages ago and he's just brought out his second album, but I'm literally just catching on to this guy. He's phenomenal. I'll link him down below, and then if you're interested you can go and have a listen. He's from America and he's just got the most soulful voice. He's like John Legend. Like, I love that kind of music. I find it amazing. Like, I just love listening to that kind of music. It's so relaxing and love it. And then I'm going to set that concealer with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder as per usual. Now, I actually broke my tub. Like, hang on. Can you see that hole? And every time I open it, powder goes everywhere and it's so annoying. And there's still like so much product in here, so it's pissing me off. So I'm just going to use my beauty blender just to set that. So I'm not baking because I don't want it to be too heavy. I'm just literally setting the concealer. So just pressing the powder into that concealer. And I'm going to do it everywhere I put the concealer. So I'm not putting too much on my sponge, just enough to set. And to prime my eyelids, I'll use my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So just pressing that into the lid using that 142 buffing brush again. And then I'll set that with my MAC Mineralise Skin Finish in Light. So I'm just patting that on with a Napoleon Perdis 16B fluffy brush. Contour brush it's called. It's like a big huge fluffy powder brush. I love this brush. Covers such a large area in one go. I really love it for this. And then for bronzer today, I'm gonna try and use the Maestro Liquid Summer Bronzer again. I don't know if it's gonna be too dark right now and I haven't got tan on, but I'm gonna try because I loved, if you saw my last video, I loved this. You saw how much I loved it. So I'm gonna give it a try. Hopefully it works. So I'm just gonna use my beauty blender again. So I'm literally just putting like a tiny bit onto my hand and then blending it into the skin. So obviously you want to put this onto wet foundation. You don't want to powder your foundation and then pop this on top because it's going to cake up with the powder, which is why I've only powdered through the middle. You want to put this straight onto the foundation. Any liquids, you don't want to try and put them on top of powder. It's not the most wonderful finish. It just cakes up and kind of balls up. And then I'm also going to take it under the cheekbones and then up onto the cheekbone and then blending it. And then again, it gives you that warm bronzed effect rather than a contoured effect. Liquid bronzers are the bomb. Like, I don't know why it's took me this long to realise that. Liquid bronzers are so good. They just melt into the skin and then just building up that colour until you're happy with the intensity. I love the finish of this as well. Like, it's got like a beautiful sheen to it. It's so pretty. I love this liquid bronzer. I highly recommend it. I know with Armani it's not out all the time. They bring it out once a year, like a limited edition kind of thing. And I know in Australia it's coming out again soon because we're coming into summer. So if you live in Australia, hold tight because it will be back in stock soon. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit down the sides of the nose. And then across the bridge of the nose. And then I'm just going to go over that just to add a little bit more dimension with the Physicians Formula Airbrush Bronzing Veil in light to medium. Just right on the edges. And then for blush, I'm going to use my Tom Ford blush in the shade Frantic Pink, which is this shade here. So it's just like a beautiful corally, pinky, peachy, pretty little number. So I'm just putting that on the back of the cheeks, blending it up towards the temple and into that bronzer. Okay, now I'm going to do my brows off counter because I have done a brow tutorial, which I will link down below. So I'm going to be doing my evening brows. So if you want to see how I do my brows, I'll link the tutorial, but I'll be back in 2 minutes. Brows done. That took a little bit more than 2 minutes, actually. I was taking my sweet old time there. Okay, so now I'm going to go into eyes. So I'm going to use, actually don't really 100% know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to get my Morphe 35T palette, and I think I'm gonna go in with this one first of all through the transition, just a nice soft matte brown. So I'm just grabbing my 227 Zoeva brush and Just gonna pop that through the contour. So like I said in my last video, because my eyes, when I look straight ahead, like a ton of my eyelid just disappears into the back of my head, I like to put my transition shade quite high up towards the brow, and then when my eyes are wide open you can still see it. Otherwise, if I put it straight in the crease, you wouldn't see it. It would be gone for life. And then using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, I'm gonna grab this shade here, which is like the brightest shade. So mostly here under the arch, and then just blending it down under the line of the brow just to brighten. Next, I'm gonna take this shade here, which is like a warm kind of plummy brown. It's just gonna add some plum and some warmth. So I'm just gonna take it on the outer corner of the eye and up into the outer part of the crease. So I'm using a Zoeva 231 Luxe Petite Crease brush. This brush is really good for like definition and packing on colour. So I'm just doing it on the outer triangle of the eye. And then just using a super soft hand with that brush, I'm just going to really lightly circle the edges just to blend them out. And then I just want to darken it a little bit further. So just grabbing my pencil brush, I'm going to take this shade here, which is like a deep plum shade, this one, and I'm just going to use that to darken up the outer corner of the eye. So just putting it onto a 230 pencil brush, just going to pack that right onto the very outer corner. And then just taking it slightly into the crease. And then I'll grab my Morphe M506 brush to blend it out. This is currently my favourite kind of precise blending brush. I love this brush for blending like these tiny little areas because it's so small and precise. It doesn't kind of blend too far. And again, just using a super light hand just so we don't blend it out too far. And then I'm just going to intensify it a little bit more. And then I'm going to do a little wing. So I'm going to use my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper. So wings sometimes can be very hard to do on camera. So I just finished them off camera because things were not going to plan. And then I'm just buffing this eyeshadow just so it kind of blends into the tip of that wing, just so everything looks nice and fluid. So now for the lower lash line, I'm just going to grab my Colourpop cream gel liner in the shade Overboard, which is like a bronzy bronze. And I'm just going to run that into the lower lash line. So I'm just running it all through that lash line. Not the waterline necessarily, just the lash line, and then same on the other side. And then using my 226 smudger brush, I'm just going to blend that out. So I'm taking about 3/4 along the eye. I don't want to take it all the way to the inner corner. And then grabbing a small pencil brush, I'm just going to go in with that really deep plum shade we use on the outer corner just to smoke out the lower outer corner. So I'm just joining the lower lash line to the wing and then just running it about 1/3 of the way along the eye. And then taking that first transition shade that we popped through the crease, I'm just going to use that to smoke out the inner part of the lower lash line, just so it transitions from dark to light and it doesn't get too heavy. And then just grabbing that big pencil brush, dusting off the excess eyeshadow that we had on it earlier, And then just running all the way along that lower lash line just to blend it all out. And now a little bit of mascara. So I'm going to use my Giorgio Armani Ecstasy mascara in black. I'm almost at the end of this mascara. It's starting to get a little bit dry. I can feel it. I've got 2 new mascaras I've ordered that are on their way. So hopefully I can transfer to one of those soon. Okay, now for lips. So I really wanted to use my new Bobbi Brown lipstick in the shade Guava. Now, is it gonna go? I'm gonna try it. So first of all, I'm gonna line with my Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in Koko, which needs a serious sharpen. And then now onto that lipstick. Oh, this colour is so pretty. I haven't actually used this yet. Brand new. I've only swatched it. Lipstick feels really, you know, you just can feel the lipstick's gonna last really well. That's how this feels. Okay, I'm just gonna contour my face slightly with my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I'm gonna use the center shade because it's the most kind of coolest, so it's the most natural on my skin. And I'm just using my Zoeva 109 Luxe face paint brush, which is my favorite contour brush. I literally can't contour without this brush, so I'm just gonna put it under the cheekbones. Last step, I'm going to use my new Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. It's not new because I've been pawing all over it, swatching it and playing with it. But today I'm going to go with this shade here, Moonstone, which is a little bit warmer and peachier. And I'm going to take it on a 238 Luxe Precision Shader Brush. And first of all, I'm just going to take it on the inner corner of the eye. So just right on that inner corner, just to open up and brighten up the eye area. I'm going to pop a little bit under the brow, just really lightly, just under here. And then on my Cupid's bow. And then a little bit on the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit on my cheekbones, but just a little bit. I don't want to put too much, and I'm going to use my Sephora fan brush. So just right up here. And then a little bit of setting spray. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Mist and Fix setting spray. This is my favourite setting spray. I feel like the MAC Fix Plus gives me a beautiful glow, but this stuff holds my makeup in place. Like, it is amazing. So this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.